Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fatopia. Our D&D series has been going on for what did we determine, boys? About a year, almost
About
a
a
year,
year.
about a year,
About a year.
About a year.
about a year. And we are joined by everyone today. We got Rich Dogmore, we got Angus,
Yo.
Angus Dangum, and we got Horcrux Connellier.
Yo.
And
Didn't know I was supposed to say anything.
what's up?
I said I didn't know I was supposed to say anything when you introduced me.
Oh, you could have. You can say whatever you want.
That's not introduction for a kid.
And yeah, guys, we got the full house today, and where we left off, we were burning the dead bodies after the war, and of course, little old Erich was with the group. Once I let's see here. No. That goes here somewhere. There it is. Erich.
Bob was wounded by blight magic, I remember, and I suggested that maybe something light with blight magic could help him, and Patty agreed with me, and I have to get a light one made somehow, and I think that's where I left off.
All right, so that's where we all remember leaving off. Bodies were burned. Angus, you burned separate bodies to the big pile because there were some families of what will we say, friendlies, that you guys lost some people on your side in the war as well. And those people were some people were unidentified, and so you burnt all the unidentifieds together, and each family from the unidentifieds took a portion of those ashes and to remember their loved ones, to not be burned with the enemy. And Tyler, this brings me to you.
Yes.
You were in the middle of battle with these boys last, you remember, and you were whirled away when someone whispered in your ear, "You're coming with me," and you guys both disappeared.
Okay.
You now awaken. You are in a misty, foggy area. You are on that street, if you remember the street in Pandlin where you left off, but no one's around you. However, you do see a glowing globe in the middle of the road.
Okay, so I would like to roll for a perception to see if I can tell what it is.
Okay.
12 was, should I get a +6 on that, so 18?
Does not identify it. It just it's a glowing globe. It's on the ground. It's not floating.
I slowly walk up to it to pick it up.
You make it to the globe just fine. It doesn't hurt you. Doesn't do nothing. You can reach your hand close to it. There's no damage. There's nothing. You're able to pick this up if you want to.
I pick it up and I start to investigate it.
As you pick it up, you're frozen stiff. You hold the globe, you're looking at it, you can't move. You can't move your arms, can't move your hands. You can't even make facial expressions. You try to open your mouth to talk and you can't. You're able to breathe through your nose. And you're sitting there and you're staring at this globe. When up next to you, you hear, "Finally, I got you, you reptilian fuck."
I don't guess I can talk either, can I?
Nope. As he comes around and he looks you in the face, and you're standing face to face with Lord Never.
I guess if I can't say anything, then I just sit there and stare at the orb and him.
He says, "Finally, I get a hold of the thief that stole my sword. He reaches down, and from your hilt, he pulls the flaming scimitar. He holds it up, and he smiles. He says, "Finally, it all will be right." He leans it close to his mouth, and he whispers, "But the flame don't ignite." He looks at you. "What did you do? What did you do?" He brings it back to his face, whispers to it again. This time a little louder, so you hear him say, "Never ember." And it doesn't ignite. And he looks at you. He said, "What kind of magic must you possess to alter a sword that's been passed down by generations? What kind of goal do you have?"
Can I try to drop the orb?
You can't. You are frozen solid by holding this orb. It's when you hear a voice that seems like it sounds from outside of the realm. And it says, "Your Highness! Your Highness?" He looks at you and he says, and he puts the hilt of he puts the sword into his sheath. And he says, "I will fix the sword and I'll be back to deal with you later." And in a moment, he walks over to a door, he opens it, light flashes, and he's gone. You can faintly hear people talking as it slowly walks away from you. You're now stuck frozen, holding this orb.
Well, I can't do anything, so I guess I'm just froze there for a minute.
When you hear Horcrux?
I just kind of start looking around in my frozen position.
So you can't really do anything. You can't move your eyes or nothing, but you feel a hand come across your shoulder. And the voice says again, "My, you got so big." And once more, her hand follows down your arm and you can see her skin in her hand. She's the same color as you, same race as you, by her arm. She says, "Now don't be scared. But in a moment, I'm going to knock this orb out, and in a flash, you're going to be gone from here." And then she leans in closer, and she whispers, "I love you." And in a flash, you're gone. And you land in Pandolin. And you're surrounded by normal people. No, none of that ghostly fog. You reach down and you notice that your flaming scimitar is gone.
I just kind of keep reaching around to see if I can feel like maybe it be misplaced somewhere on my belt.
You check your belongings. You realize that you still have your boots of Elvenkind. You realize that you don't have your flaming scimitar anywhere. But as you're digging around, you realize that you have a note.
I read what the note says.
You open it up and it's in some kind of scripture you've never seen before. You see some symbols and stuff that I will take a picture and send to you later, and some what look to be scribbles to you beside it. It's really unlegible.
Okay. So my initial idea is to take that to the shop to see if my grandfather would understand any of it.
So, at the time period this is,
Well,
Let's see. They just got done with everything they were doing and went to bed, right? After eating with your mom, Angus?
Yeah.
Is that right, Rich?
Last I remember, it was like the party was going on. Eric was partying and the bodies were burning, and I just asked him about making a wand, and he couldn't do it, so we decided to just go to bed and wait till the next day and figure everything out.
Yeah, so and then everyone partied and then we made it to bed and that's where we ended it.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to bed then.
All right, so it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. Not quite dawn, but starting to get lighter than complete dark. And you can make your way to anywhere you want to go in town.
I guess I'm just gonna go to Erich's and go to sleep. Since it is 4 o'clock in the morning, catch a little bit of sleep before everybody gets up and gets moving around.
So you make it in there. You notice that it just smells like burned decay body. Like they burned right in this field right over here. So I mean the stench is pretty up there. But it's also was burned at a pretty good temperature, so it's also a lot of smoky. And you make your way, you can go to bed. And now everyone's together. And we wake up the next day, and I'm going to start with you, Rich.
I wake Patty up and ask if she wants breakfast.
Of course, she answers yes. And you guys go downstairs. You make breakfast. Let's see. Betty is also there, right? Betty, and then Bob's over at the doctor's office.
Yes.
Okay. So you, Patty, and Betty all eat together, and I'm gonna flip over to you, Angus.
I'm going to get up and go for breakfast.
All right. Mom's.
Yeah.
As normal, big old feast at Mom's house. You make it inside. She greets you very kindly. Oh, Angus, I'm so glad the war is over and everybody's okay. Besides, those who didn't make it. Rest in peace to that family and those families. And she gives you a hug. She also hands you a list of orders. And you guys sit down and have breakfast. And then that's when Tyler, you get awoken by Erich yelling, "Hey, Horcrux! Horcrux, you in there?
Yeah.
You coming over to have breakfast?"
Yeah, give me a few minutes.
All right, I'm gonna head right over.
Okay.
And then Erich, within a moment, comes bursting in the door, but politely, but fastly, because he wants to get to that food. But he's always real polite to you and your mom. And so he gets in the door, he gets over to the food, he says, "Hello to your mom, Mrs. Dangum," and then looks at you and says, "What's up, Angus?"
Not much.
Man, we had a lot of fun last night, right?
Somebody did. Since I was burning what was my best friend, I did not enjoy it very much.
Oh. Well, shit. Sorry for your loss. Shit. These pancakes, huh? These pancakes.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
And Rich, over at you guys, Patty eats real quick, and then she says, "Hey, I gotta get over and attend to Bob. Are you gonna work on that today?"
The light one?
We got to figure something out, or I'm afraid he may not make it.
Yeah. I'm gonna work on getting a light one made.
All right, and she goes over to the nurse's office. After Betty hears this, she goes with her, and you're alone now, finishing breakfast.
I wonder to myself if I can make a light wand.
You immediately hear a voice, very familiar voice, that says, "No, you can't, because you're evil."
I'm not listening to you.
You always listen to me.
Walking over to Angus's and ask him if I can use the forge.
All right, so you make it over to Angus's. Angus, you and Erich finish eating breakfast. You guys all get 1 hero point. Angus, you already know that you earned another, so make sure you mark that. And so everyone gets a hero point. Everyone's freshly eaten. It is a brand new day. Rich has a mission. Tyler, did you ever make it over to breakfast?
Yes.
All right, so you're there. You're eating kind of later than everyone, but you're finishing up about the same time. You get all the same perks and rewards. And Rich, you come bursting through the door.
Yes, can I use the forge?
Okay, y'all gonna have forwards. Is that my shop?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hang on 1 second. Well, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be in my shop, but we can work around each other. I got
That'll
a
work.
list. I got a list of items I need to make, but we should be able to work around each other.
Make a light wand. Maybe I can.
Okay. All right.
All right, so you guys decide that. Erich looks at both of you and says, well, actually, I have a place I have to be. Hey, Angus, I'm gonna be gone for a couple days. Can you watch over the house?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Horcrux, you can keep staying there, obviously. Yeah. So I'll see you guys. Nobody do nothing I wouldn't do while I'm gone.
No worries.
No. Nah. Later, guys. And Erich takes off.
Okay.
That was weird.
I'm used to it.
No.
I'm guessing I'm in my shop.
If you guys are leaving so you guys are going to the shop. So
Yes.
So Angus and Rich, you go to the shop. Horcrux, what are you doing?
I'm finishing up, and then I'm gonna go back to Erich's and get like a couple more hours of sleep.
All right, so Horcrux makes his way back to Erich's. We make it to the shop. Let's see, can I flip to the shop? Oh, this one. All right, so we get into the shop. Horcrux went to bed. Angus, you walk in, you look at your list, you realize you have 6 axes to make.
Hang on 1 second. Hang on, let me 6
battle axes.
Okay.
You need to make 3 regular hammers.
Okay.
You need to make 5 daggers.
Okay.
And somebody ordered a golden flail.
All right, I get started on that.
You go to start working and you realize that your inventory is pretty plenished, or pretty not plenished, pretty depleted from everything you guys made for the war.
Yeah. I reckon I fixing to have to make a run to the hardware store.
And you remember that guy who
Oh yeah, he's supposed to bring it by.
yeah, you gotta contact him.
Okay.
Do you remember how?
I do not.
I guess you'll have to figure that out. And so while Angus is realizing he is depleted on materials and trying to figure that out, Rich, how you make a light wand?
I concentrate and see if anything comes to mind, and I know how.
All right. Roll roll a d20 with insight, which is a 1.
Oh, really? My insight is that low? Yeah, you're right. It is.
Well, you're not very insightful.
I rolled a 16 plus 1, 17.
With a 17, you remember that there was a special kind of wood used on the last one you had made, or that was made for you. But you can't.
Yeah.
You for the life of you didn't see the process. You didn't ask him any questions. You really don't know anything about it.
Is Bob conscious?
No. And I know I promised that I wasn't going to give hints no more, but I feel like the fact that we haven't touched on this yet, and it's bothering me, so I have to bring it up. You remember that voice you heard back at your house?
It sounded like my dad.
Okay. What last we knew, what happened to your dad?
Got stabbed by the light sword.
And?
I got turned to stone.
Okay.
Actually.
All right. And then you decided to go somewhere, right? And you ran into a witch. You remember that? And then you reminded the witch that, or well, you informed the witch that your dad was in need of help. And then she disappeared.
Well, that doesn't seem like a...
Actually,
Okay.
this was the one that did that. Because I was asleep.
One of you did it, okay? And my point is that you didn't bring up the fact that your dad is talking to you and no longer in stone.
Great.
Oh, crap.
Ooh.
All right, back to the game. So we're here. We are realizing that Rich don't know how to make a light wand. Angus has realized he's out of materials, and now he is on a mission to go figure out how he gets more materials.
Don't I send a letter to him?
You're on the path, yes. Do you remember he gave you very simple instructions, so I'll help you out. He told you all you have to do is get a hold of the corer or the carrier, or what are they called? Someone help me. People that
Pony carrot.
the courier carrier. It's like
Courier.
yeah, something like that. All you have to do is get a hold of the mail guy. Okay.
Oh, Pony Express. Yeah.
Yeah. All you have to do is get a hold of the mail guy, and he knows your business, knows the typical order, and he'll send the letter for you.
All right. Well, I do that.
All right, you head off to go find him, which is kind of hard sometimes. So we'll get to that. And Rich, what are we doing with you, bud?
I'm gonna go talk to Betty and ask her if she knows if Bob had any other blacksmith stuff that he knew that might have the knowledge of how to make a light wand.
Okay. All right. This is actually on a good path, so I will not intrude. And so Rich goes off to find Betty. Angus, we need to flip back to the map. Oh, it didn't change. Okay. Wow. You go to find the courier. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but I think that's right. All right, so you go find this guy. Oh, and which way are you going? You leave your workshop. Workshop's right here.
Let's go to the left.
All right, so you walk this way. You see, the typical people out. You see your best friend's house, dark, and stuff over here. And as you make the corner, you notice that all the mail things that are on the side of the houses have not been flipped shut yet. So they're not. He hasn't probably been here yet.
Mm. Okay. I'm beginning to get a little bit worried now. What time does he generally run?
You're starting to think about it, and he literally should be running around town right now.
Okay, I'll wait and see if he shows up.
You come back like here to the center, and kind of look for him. Is that the plan?
Give me a minute.
I honestly thought like waiting at a mailbox, my mailbox perhaps.
All right, so you're gonna come back to like your mailbox over here and wait.
Yeah.
All right, so you go back to your house. You're gonna kind of sit there and be like, all right, let's. Oh wait, and then you're reminded that your mail actually goes to your mom's house.
Okay, well I go to hers.
Yeah, so you go stand on your mom's front porch. I figured you wouldn't remember that, so I'm gonna help you. All right, so you go sit on your mom's front porch. You realize her mail hasn't come yet either. And Rich, you make it to Betty, who is sitting next to Bob, who's laid up on the table, and Patty, who is continuously mixing stuff, casting spells, and trying to keep Bob stable. He just
You're probably gonna have to re-say that because he just got back from wherever he had to go a minute ago.
I stepped out for a second.
Oh, all right. Well, anyway, you walk in. Betty is sitting there next to Bob, who's laid up on the table unconscious. Patty is busy casting spells and mixing stuff and trying to just keep Bob stable.
I asked Betty if Bob knew any blacksmiths that might how to make a light wand.
The only blacksmith that I knew would have been able to do that was Angus's brother.
Oh.
Oh, This would be the next logical person, but Angus told me that he couldn't make one.
You never asked, did you?
I did.
Okay.
When?
You asked if you could make one, and it was right before we went to bed.
Mm.
But you asked, and our DM informed you that you could not make one.
Okay.
I think my exact words were at the moment.
I remember this.
Okay.
Hey.
I guess I'm going to try to find Angus and ask him if he thinks there's any way he could gain the knowledge to make a light wand.
So you go walking out. You don't say nothing to Betty or Patty. You just think to yourself, and you turn around and you walk out. You walk down the street. You see Angus up on his mom's porch waiting.
Angus, I need a minute of your time. Do you think there's any way you could obtain the knowledge on how to make a light wand?
I can definitely try. How about a little
Bob's
bit of
life is at stake.
how about a little bit of you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You wait on the mailman till I need
Yes, I'll
supplies,
help you with your order.
and I will see what I can do.
All right,
That'll work.
Rich, you taking this quest?
Yes.
All right, Rich is now standing here. Angus, where are you going to try to figure out how to make a light wand? What's your plan?
I think my best solution would be to go to my shop and concentrate there.
You go into your shop. You stand there. You what kind of concentration we're doing? We're doing deep thought. You're just trying to really you know that your brother possessed this power.
Yes, and that's the second why I went to the shop, because shop, him, blacksmith, and I figured that might be my best shot to get in tone.
Roll me a d20, no additives.
Ooh, I wrote an 8.
Okay. All right, so you're standing here. You're really trying to think, but I'm giving you advantage. So roll again, for one reason, and I'll get to that in a second.
I wrote a 16.
All right, perfect. So you got advantage because you're trying to access a part of your brain that triggers a whisper, and it's that old familiar voice. She says, "Honey, I think we need to talk."
I'm listening.
Well, in order to speak to Elizabeth fully, you'll have to go to that realm.
Oh, yeah.
And you might remember the cause of going there too much.
Yeah, it makes me tired or exhausted.
Yeah, so that's your repercussions. You know it now. What do you want to do?
I know it. Well, being that I feel there's the cause outweighs the consequences outweighs the threat that's on the outside, so I'm going.
You instantly go. You know what it's like. It's dark, it's foggy, and then you see her standing there. She says, "Ah, Angus." She puts her hand on one shoulder and then caresses your face with the other. She says, "My dear Angus, we don't got much time, so I'm going to get straight to the point. If you want to access the knowledge from your brother, it's going to be time that I go on."
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand, child?
Not quite.
You have
FedEx just got here. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
you have to officially kill me, Angus. I'll be gone.
FedEx is here.
Officially dead. You won't be able to use my powers anymore. But you'll be able to access all of the rest of your brother's magical knowledge.
Mm.
It's being blocked by my, well, existence.
Does she know the reasonings of why I need to access this magic?
She can see through your eyes and hear. Like, she's basically living inside you. So, yes.
Okay, so she knows the dire of the situation.
Yep. She puts both hands on you and she says, I know I didn't know you long, but I love you like a son. This may be the end, but I'll always be with you.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
I'm a big
Not
boy.
not sound like that scene from Star Wars. I know what I must do, but I don't know if I have the power to do it.
It's the
She
strength to
says,
do it.
Angus, you're about to pass. And then everything goes black.
Mm. So I guess I'm passed out now.
Rich, you're standing on the front porch of Angus's mom's house. You're looking around for this carrier, this guy that's supposed to be bringing the mail around. You look around and you realize that from what you can see, everyone around you's mailboxes have been untouched.
Rich is dealing with FedEx right now.
Oh yeah, shit. God damn it. Alright, Horcrux, you wake up.
Okay, my first plan is to take the letter and go to the store.
You're taking what and going where?
I'm taking the letter and going to my grandfather's store.
Oh, okay, Mr. Connolly.
Yeah.
You get to the store, he greets you. Grandson! Did you see the war?
Yeah, I need to talk to you about something that just happened, and I walk up to him with the letter, and I explain like everything all the way down to like the orb and who knocked it out of my hand, and King never taking my sword, and everything.
He stares at you blankly for a minute, and then he sets the letter down and kind of pushes it back across the table. And he says, "That's Thieves Guild writing." With that, you've seen this look before. It's how he treated you when you first walked in. You know, that snobby, like,
I explained to him who knocked the orb out of my hand, that I didn't like see like their face, but their skin and everything was the same as mine. And I asked him who he thought it was.
Your mother's still alive.
Do you know where I might be able to find her and possibly now King Never?
Last I knew, she was imprisoned, in Neverwinter by King Never for stealing the sword.
That's what I thought. You wouldn't happen to have any extra swords on you that I could keep until I got mine back, would you?
You know, I didn't want to give this to nobody, but I do have this sword that I found on your dad's body.
Is there anything special about it, or is it just a sword
I mean,
that you could tell?
I can't quite figure it out. Someone told me it has some kind of properties to it, but it's golden. It's got a ruby. I don't know. Here, let me go get it for you. And he blinks away. You know that secret place.
Mhm.
And he blinks back, and he hands you a replica to your flaming scimitar, only unflamed.
Unflamed. So that means like it's not flamed right now, or like
Yeah,
it doesn't have the
it's
property
it's
of.
it's not lit right now.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. FedEx just left. I was the only one that could get the packages.
So he hands you the sword. He says, "This was the last thing I kept of your dad's. Take good care of it."
I will. This actually looks like an exact replica of the sword that King never just took off of me.
Your mother's sword.
Yeah, the flame tongue. This is actually a replica of it, or at least it looks like replica of it. I'll figure out if it's got the same thing that it can do that my last one did. But don't worry, I'll be outside of your store before I try it.
Wait. The Oh, there's only 2 of those in existence.
Yeah, and I know where the other one was, which is why I'm perplexed as to why this one looks like a replica of those. Because last I checked, the other person who had the other one was Ross Dogmore before he got turned to stone.
Well, I okay. All right. I may have sold a sword to Ross Dogmore that looks like this sword, but don't
Well,
tell anyone.
it lit up like the other one.
Wait, are you saying there's 3?
I guess that's what I'm saying. If you're saying this one was the actual real one, you thought the one you gave him was a fake. Because
the one I sold Ross, I bought off a lady that came to this town, a full-grown woman. I can't remember her name. Eighth? No, that ain't it. Faye? No.
Faye. That name's familiar.
I bought it off some lady who came here. She married some dwarf. They lived over in that house. She just left him not too long ago.
Faye sounds like a familiar name.
But anyway, I bought it from her a couple years back. Sold it to Ross because he wanted it.
So apparently there's 3 now.
Yeah, but the one you're holding though. So remember how I said it was your dad's?
Yeah.
I mean, it was in his body when we found him.
So we don't know who had it before or why they would leave it.
It's technically what killed him.
Well, would you like to step outside of the store so we can see if this thing actually works like it's supposed to?
No, you can come back, tell me all about it. I'll be here. Well, you go have fun. Grandpa's gonna take a nap, I think. I'm feeling pretty tired.
Okay, well I'll lock your door on the way out then.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I make my way out of the store.
All right, you're out of the store. You're in the road.
I go to whisper the word that I used to ignite my last sword.
You lean forward and you whisper your last name, which is Connellier, to the sword, and it does nothing.
Okay. So this one has a different ignite word if it's actually a flame tongue. I guess I will have to figure that out as I go.
Yes, you will. And Rich, back to you. it's been about an hour that you've been waiting here, and you're gonna be waiting some more because, guys, this is the end of this episode. I hoped you guys enjoyed it. Okay, we will have another episode next week that'll leave or continue on Rich. Boys, you got anything you want to say before I end this session?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Hey, I had to interrupt.
Okay. You okay? You there?
I'm here.
You said you'd hate to interrupt, and then it was blank. So you just is that?
No,
just...
I said I'm sorry. I had to interrupt.
Oh, you're sorry you had to interrupt. Okay, my bad. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.